5, 4, 3, 2.
Realtors, you're in the right spot.
We're going to do this together.
Welcome to the Leading Edge Podcast.
These mentors showed me a map of success.
This is the place for real estate pros like you to get better at running your business, balancing your life, and having happy clients.
Do you know how powerful you are?
And now your host, Eric Thompson.
What's up, everyone? It's your good friend, Eric Thompson. It's the Leading Edge Podcast, episode number 69. This one is called Burnout. We're going to get to burnout in a moment. First, I got to tell you something which has nothing to do with burnout is the fact that I just got back from a speaking gig that is the first time I've been in front of a large audience in a year and a half. Of course, because of COVID. Oh my goodness. It was amazing. It was so fun. It was the National Association of Realtors Region 11 conference. It was in Denver. There were just over 300 amazing realtors there. I was invited to speak by my really good friend, Scott Matthias, who right now is the VP of Region 11. And I am so proud that I was asked. I'm so grateful that I was asked to speak. It was incredible. It was so much fun. I did a presentation called Waiting for Normal. And more than anything, it was just incredible to be connecting with people one-on-one, face-to-face, in person, handshakes, hugs, all the things. Felt so good, so exciting. It was an absolute blast. And I'm looking forward to doing more and more of those things as time goes on, as we get the difficulties and challenges and constraints, at least some of them, at least most of them related to COVID, we get those things behind us. All right, let's dive in. What we're going to dive into, guys, is this topic of burnout. The reason why I'm making this podcast is because I believe that burnout is the biggest threat to the productive realtor right now. I think this is a way bigger threat than what interest rates might do. I think it's a bigger threat than what inventory is doing right now. I think it's a bigger threat than any kind of thing that may come along in the economy. Burnout for the productive realtor for sure is the biggest threat that I see out there. So I want to help with that, all right? I think it's the most common thing that's going on with productive people. I see it all the time. And what I see is the 1,000-yard stare is what I see in the eyes of a lot of really productive realtors, right? So when I look in their eyes and when I talk to them, and I can even think back to this most recent conference I was at, like you can just see the exhaustion in people's eyes. You can see the burnt outness in them, right? You can just feel it. You can see it. I know a realtor who just last month had 12 closings. And when I congratulated this realtor about it, the response was, yeah, thanks a lot. Not, yes, oh my gosh, it was the best month I've ever had. It was amazing. It was incredible. I'm so excited. My year is on fire. It wasn't that. It was like this overall exhaustion feeling. It was almost like reluctance, like a wish that they were not so busy, right? So there's a lot of this going on. And so I want to help with this. And I will give you some tips. I've boiled it down to 4 things. You're not surprised to hear that I have a list of things I'm going to give you. I think that's a common thing that happens here in the podcast. So I am going to give you 4 tips. But first thing to understand, and this is a little bit of a lecture that I'm going to give you, and I have permission to do that because that's why you're listening to this in the first place. You'd like to get some coaching. And I'm going to give you some coaching. I'm going to give you a little bit of a lecture and tell you, if you feel burnout, you are being selfish. It is selfish to burn yourself out. And you're going to say, whoa, time out. What do you mean? How can it be selfish? Like I'm hustling for my clients. I'm hustling for my people. I'm trying to make money for my family. That's not selfish. Oh, heck yeah, it is. It's extremely selfish to burn yourself out for a couple reasons. Number one, most importantly, most significantly, when you burn yourself out, you are now not at your best for the people who need you the most. All right. So your clients are relying on you to be really sharp and really on point and really together and really with it, and to have all of your wits about you and to not miss things and not make mistakes. Your clients have hired you to negotiate on their behalf. So whether you're working for a seller or working for a buyer, negotiation is a massive part of the deal, right? Massive part of the value that they are paying for, that they've hired you to do. And can you negotiate at your very best when you're all burnt out and fried and toast, when your energy is sapped, when you're feeling drained, when you're wishing that you were, instead of negotiating, that you were taking a nap, or that you were on the back porch, or, had a beer in your hand, or whatever? Like, are you at your best for your client when you're in that state? And are you at your best for your family when you're in that state? Because really what it means is, when you're burning yourself out, all that means is you've gotten out of balance, right? And you're not doing the things that fill up your energy tank, which include being with your family. So all that means is you are making your family not a priority anymore. So you're being selfish, all right? You are totally being selfish if you're burning yourself out. The other way you're being selfish is, in a lot of cases, what it means when you're burning yourself out is you're doing things that you shouldn't be doing. Like, there's someone else that is way better at doing that thing than you. It's not, I wouldn't say beneath you, but it's not worth your dollar per hour. There's someone else that can help you. So you're keeping that person from being able to do something that they would enjoy, something that they could earn money to do, something that would keep them gainfully employed, something that would put food on their table. I mean, there you are, trying to do it all, trying to spin all the plates, trying to juggle all the balls in the air, and you are keeping someone else from being able to do that thing. Now, I've had to learn this lesson the hard way. I get it, because what you want to say is, well, I like the control and I want to do it my way and I want to make sure it's done right. I've just recently found someone to help me with a lot of my CRM type of things. There's a CRM platform that I use, and I found someone online who is a total pro. This guy's an expert at this stuff, and he can run circles around me. He can do it way faster than me, way better than me. And he's loving it. Like, he really, really enjoys it. And I've gotten to know him, and he's gotten to know me, and we have this cool relationship now, and it's great. This is like win, win, win. And it's freed me up to go do the things that I need to do, right? Which is engage with people, help them, coach them, create content. That's what I need to do to be at my best, to go make my best contribution. So stop doing things that are not your best contribution. And if you're like grasping onto those things, it's like with like a death grip, you just won't let it go. That's you being selfish. So we got to stop being selfish, and that is leading to burnout. Now, let's go into the 4 things. All right, I'm going to give you 4 tips on burnout that are going to help. These are like burnout busters. These are ways to prevent burnout, ways to pull yourself out of a cycle of burnout, take yourself off the path to burnout. 4 things. All right, number 1. This is going to be unexpected, by the way. Some of these things you may expect me to say as I go through the list of 4 things. Number 1, you're not expecting me to say. Number 1 tip is to stop lying to yourself. All right, stop lying to yourself. So somewhat that ties back to me saying that, stop believing that you need to do it all. So that's a version of lying to yourself. Another version of lying to yourself is waiting around for conditions to be different so that things can finally be easy. All right. I see that sometimes, like, oh man, I just can't wait for there to be more inventory, because that's really going to make things easier. Once XYZ occurs, then the business is going to get a whole lot easier. Well, all we know, like what the market has proven over decades, is that as time goes on, it only gets more complicated. I mean, we know that, like, it's only more complicated. And what's the other truth about that? Well, that's actually good news for pros like us, who are really committed to the business, who are really all in, who are total pros, who are just here to serve our people through a big need that they have. It's actually a benefit to the best of us when things are difficult and challenging and complicated. All right, so we're going to stop lying to ourselves that things will be easier at some point in the future. We're going to stop lying to ourselves that something like normal is going to come along. Gosh, wouldn't it be great when things just get back to normal? I just so want things to be normal again. Then I'll be happy, right? Then I'll be good. Then I'll be able to really have the business that I want once things get back to normal. Well, guess what? There's nothing normal. that's ever going to be. I mean, the only thing that's normal is that there's massive change that occurs in our industry. And, last time I checked, for the last, many decades, I'm 27 years in real estate. Last time I checked, the only thing that's normal is that things change a whole heck of a lot and only get more complicated over time. So tip number one, we're gonna stop lying to ourselves. We're gonna start telling ourselves the truth. So what's the truth? The truth is the market is what it is. Like the numbers are the numbers, the stats are the stats, the inventory is the inventory. That's the truth. Another truth is people need us, like big time. They really need us. Like another truth is people are totally overwhelmed and confused and scratching their head and thinking, what the heck? And what else is true is that they're stepping into this very emotional process that they're about to go through. And they're looking and seeking for a pro that's going to help them out. That's true. And another thing that's true is that you can totally shine in this market. Like you can just stand out and be head and shoulders above the competition. Show people that you are committed to understanding the market and make some reasonable predictions about where you see things headed, and to give them amazing service. Like it is so true that this is your time to shine. So we're going to stop lying to ourselves as tip number one, because when you lie to yourself, that's exhausting. That's why it's a burnout buster to start telling yourself the truth and stop lying to yourself, because lying to yourself is completely exhausting. Like if you want to burn yourself out, just lie to yourself a whole lot, right? Think about all the energy that goes into lying, especially lying to yourself and trying to hide from the truth and not face facts and tell yourself stories that none of which are true. Like that is completely exhausting. So how about we just tell ourselves the truth, see the market for what it is, and see the benefits of it? Like, oh my gosh, this is totally a time for me to shine and rise up. That's number one. Number two, my friends, as a tip for burnout busting is to jumpstart your routine. I want you to jumpstart your routine. What happens super frequently is people say when they get busy like they are now, they say things like, and it's crazy to say things like this, but they say things like, you know what? Oh my gosh, I'm just way too busy to work out. Work out? Are you kidding me? I am so busy. There's no way I have the time to work out. There's no way I have the time to do my normal morning routine where I'm reading and then I'm writing down my gratitudes, writing down my intentions. Some people like to write their affirmations in the morning. They say, gosh, I'm just way too busy for that. Yeah, sure, that'd be nice. I'm just way too busy. Sleep, are you kidding me? I'll sleep when I'm dead. I'm no way I have time to sleep. I wish I could get 7 hours or 8 hours, but I just have too much to do. I don't have time to sleep. Like that's crazy, right? That is crazy making. That is a one-way ticket to burnout when we abandon our routines. So what's so ironic is that we abandon our routines when we need them the most, right? We're abandoning our routines when we need them the very most. Like right now is when we need our routines more than ever. Like we have to have these really incredible, peaceful, amazing, empowering mornings. Like we have to have that. We have to have quiet. We have to have like minimal technology in the morning, which I'll talk more about in a minute. We have to find ways to move our body. We have to find ways to build up our mindset. We have to find ways to learn and engage. We have to be around our friends and family so that we can laugh, so that we can lighten up, so that we can fill our energy tank. We have to do things like exercise to keep our energy up and to keep ourselves feeling good about our bodies and to keep our bodies healthy. So tip number two, guys, if you've gotten off your routine, jumpstart your routine. Just look for the easy win in your routine and start that. Probably that's going to be in the morning. Probably it's going to be, could you go back to reading a little bit or listening a little bit, writing a little bit, just have some quiet reflection time in the morning. Another easy win is finding an easy way to move your body that can be as simple as just taking a walk around the block. It can be that simple. All right, so that's tip number two. Tip number three for burnout busting is I want you to manage your screen time. All right, manage your screen time. We have this app installed on our daughter's phones where we get to control how much screen time they have. And it's a work in progress. Like there are definitely some debates and negotiations around that, but I think for the most part it's going well, and we're really looking for ways to empower them to make good decisions about screen time. We don't want it to be just like total like oppression and we're going to be fully in charge. Like we want them to learn to decide and learn to really manage that for themselves, because we want them to be great adults, right? That's an adult skill. So I want you to have the same skill. I want you to have the skill, because I can't put an app on your phone to manage your screen time, nor would I want to. I want you to be really good at managing your screen time. I want to give you this simple little hack, this simple little formula that I just came up with just literally like 3 days ago. I came up with this. I think it's pretty cool. I call it 30 30 30. All right, 30 30 30 for managing your screen time. And what that means is the first 30 minutes in the morning, stay off your screen. All right, no screens for the first 30 minutes. And regardless of what time you wake up, whether it be 5 or 5:30 or 6 or 6:30 or 7 or whatever, you can stay off your screen for the first 30 minutes and the world will keep spinning on its axis. Nothing will go wrong, right? That thing that's waiting for you in email, or that message that's waiting for you in social media, or that post like notification that you want to look at, guess what? It'll be there 30 minutes from now. So give yourself 30 minutes screen free first thing in the morning. The second 30 is 30 minutes when you first get home. So before you walk in the door, do one last check of your phone. Is there anything super urgent that's there? Then, gosh, you could turn it off or at least put it on mute and kind of set it to the side and just be present with your family for those 30 minutes when you first walk in the door, right? So that's the second 30. When you first walk in the door, your family will love you for it, instead of, gosh, you just got home and really like you still need to look at your phone all the time. Didn't you just get home? Like, didn't you just look at it a few minutes ago in the garage or whatever? So that's the second 30 when you first get home, 30 minutes set to the side. And then the last 30 is 30 minutes before bed. So 30 minutes before you fall asleep, put the phone to the side, put it away. We have all seen and heard the research on staring at a bright screen right before you're supposed to fall asleep. Not good, right? That doesn't help you. That doesn't help you to fall asleep well and to have a great night's sleep. So 30 minutes right before bed, put the screen to the side. That's my little lesson. That's my little formula on screen time: 30 30 30. 30 minutes first thing in the morning, 30 minutes when you first get home, 30 minutes before you go to bed. That will do wonders for you. The last tip I have for you regarding burnout busting is I want you to schedule your recharge first. So all the ways that you recharge yourself, and you think of yourself just like a battery, right? Just like your cell phone has a battery. That battery will drain unless you plug it in. You have to plug in your battery, right? You need to be plugged into your charger. There are things that you do that charge your battery. Those are going to be things like reading. There'll be things like being with your friends and family. There'll be things like hobbies that you love. Gosh, whether it's knitting or riding your bike or walking or hiking or boating or stand-up paddleboarding or taking the kite to the park, whatever it is, there are things that you love to do. They're your hobbies. Those things fill your battery. So what you got to do is you have to schedule those things first, because if we're waiting around and hoping that there's time in the day or time in the week to do those things, it's never, ever, ever going to happen. Never going to happen. The only way it happens is to schedule it, and you schedule those things first because they are supremely important, right? Super duper important that you recharge the battery. So you would never wait for your battery to get all the way down to zero on your phone before you plug it in. No, you just keep it plugged in all the time. Like periodically you're plugging it back in, charge it back up. That's what you got to do. And you have to create the time to do it. So you put it in your schedule. So the things like exercise, the things like time with friends and family, the things like knitting or going for a bike ride or a hike or whatever, get those things into your schedule first. When you build out your week, put those things in first so you ensure that they happen. All right, guys, again, this is all about burnout. I really believe it is the biggest threat to the productive realtor. All right, I want to help you. If you have that 1,000-yard stare I talked about, I want to help you with this. You need to understand a little bit of a lecture, and you need to understand that it's selfish to burn yourself out. It's totally selfish. So stop being selfish. Stop focusing on other people by Number one, you're going to stop lying to yourself. You're going to tell yourself the truth. Number two, you're going to jumpstart your routine. Look for those easy wins. Number three, you're going to manage your screen time. Number four, you're going to schedule your recharge first. All right, that's the deal. Promise me you do that. All right, please promise me. All right, hey, here's the thing. If you really like this, if you like coaching like this, if you're getting a lot out of this, if you want more, if you want to be connected to an amazing community of people just like you who are committed to this path to make an even better contribution, if you want more engagement from me, like more hands-on, you got to join Alpha State. You've heard me talk about it. Go to alphastateclass.com. You're going to absolutely love it. The people in there absolutely love it. They get so much out of it. So go to alphastateclass.com. Take your business and your life to a whole new level. I absolutely promise you that. alphastateclass.com. Get signed up. There's like no risk because you can stop whenever you want to stop. All right, it's pretty simple. So guys, thank you so much for your engagement with the podcast. I so appreciate it as always, and can't wait to see you on the next one. In the meantime, enjoy life on the leading edge.